Greetings, this is the Grumpy Old Slan, and today we're going to create characters for Le Château des sortilèges, the first French role-playing game. What we need to play is the tokens provided in the magazine where this game was published, and you have to put them all in a bowl, like this. So the tokens are for monsters. So let's see here. This is for an orc. And when we have an encounter, we pick one of these out. There are also treasures. So this is the icon for a flask. It could be a potion of healing. It could be poison. It could be something else. We have tokens for our characters. And finally, we will need some D6s. This game was published in a magazine. They couldn't include dice, and they knew the standard gaming dice wouldn't be around, but they knew people would have regular six-sided dice. So that's what the entire game is based on. And the first character we're going to roll for is a cleric. We basically need to roll for hit points. That's it. The cleric has to roll a d6 and a d3. Now I only have 2d6, but this will be the d3. We'll divide it in half for their hit points. So that's 2, and 4 is 6 hit points for our cleric, which we can put right here. The cleric's movement rate is 2. Actually, all characters' movement rates is 2. The cleric's armor class is 4. Which means that a monster needs to roll a 4 or higher in order to hit the cleric. And finally, we can equip the cleric with a weapon. There are only 4 weapons available in this game. The dagger, which does 1 to 3 points of damage. The sword, which does 1 to 6. The mace, which does 1 to 6. And the bow and arrows, which does 1 to 3. But is a ranged attack. So the cleric is, however, limited, just like in D&D, which this game is heavily based on. And so we can only equip our cleric with a mace, which will do 1d6 of damage. So let's just add that to his token. And that's it, we have our cleric. The next character we're going to roll is the fighter. Now again, the fighter has a movement rate of 2. His AC is 5, which means monsters will need a 5 or 6 in order to hit him. For his hit points, he rolls 2d6 and he adds 1. So we're going to do that here. And that's 4 and 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So let's put that on his token. We're going to look at the weapons table. Now we're going to equip him with a sword, since he can use one, and it'll make more damage than the bow or the dagger. And so he can do 1 to 6 points of damage. The next character will be the magic user. Movement rate of 2. The AC is 3. So monster only needs a 3 or higher in order to hit the magic user. And the magic user will only have a d3 for his hit points. So let's roll it. So he gets 2 hit points. Now for equipment, we can give him a dagger, which will do 1 to 3 points of damage. This is the only weapon he can use. There we go. And the last character we're going to roll up is a thief. Again, movement rate of 2. The AC for the thief is 4. The thief rolls a d6 for his hit points, so let's do that. Ooh, I'm lucky. That's a 6, as much as my cleric. And the thief can use any weapon. We'll give him a sword, and that'll be 1 to 6 points of damage he can do. Lastly, there is a token that can be used to represent the entire party on the map. It looks like this. It's in the village. And as we move around when we play, we'll just be able to move this token around. We can also take the tokens for our characters and set out the marching order. Now what happens is, the way this game works is there is no initiative. When you have combat, 2 of the characters can attack. Then the monster will attack one of the two characters in the front row, and then the other two characters can attack in turn. The drawback of this is that if you encounter a monster and you decide to flee and the monster pursues you and catches up to you, the monster will attack the characters in the rear first. So this is something you need to keep in mind. There are no fancy maneuvers, no fancy moves you can do. It's a very basic game. So we'll play it like this with this marching order. I'm going to put the fighter and the cleric in the front row, the magic user and the thief in the back, and hope it all works out. This has been the Grumpy Old Slan, and I'll see you next time when we play Le Château des Sortilèges.